Torres. I am from Providence, Rhode Island, and I'm currently majoring at Bay Path University in digital forensics and information assurance, which both fall under the cybersecurity umbrella. Got interested in cybersecurity when I was young. I started working on computers with my uncle, so I thought that computer science was the way to go. But then through my advisor's help, he taught me more about cybersecurity, and I realized that that was a lot more interesting. And that was definitely the career path that I wanted to go to. It sounded a lot more fun, a lot more challenging, and a lot more engaging. So when I participated in the Mass Cyber Center mentorship program, I had a fantastic mentor. Her name was Megan Martinez, and the project that we worked on had to do with digital forensics. We were given a case to analyze and stuff like that, and use a whole bunch of digital forensics tool in order to process it. It was very hands-on, and we met about once every 2 weeks or so. And she also taught me about how to apply for jobs. She taught me more skills that maybe I didn't learn in class. Yeah, it was very fun and engaging. The main takeaway from my experience working with a mentor was probably that there's a bunch of people out there who want to help you for literally no cost. They want to make sure that you advance in your career. They're happy to see you succeed, and they have a lot of advice for you that they're just willing to give out. I learned about my internship at Travelers through my professor, actually my professor slash advisor, Matt Smith. He learned about the Travelers internship through one of his connections. And so he actually helped me to get it. He encouraged me to apply for it. He looked at my resume too beforehand to make sure that it was up to date, to make sure that I had all of the applicable coursework, basically to make me look as good as possible. So I was very fortunate to get a professor like him. So yeah, I had the interview and stuff like that, and so I got hired. It's a paid internship, summer long, 10 weeks, and it's very engaging. It's been very fun. They've been guiding us through every single step of the way. A lot of internships, you're kind of just left hanging, and you don't really know what you're doing. And it's kind of just like, here's the work, figure out how to do it. But it definitely has not been like that at Travelers. They're guiding you along every step of the way. They're saying these are the tools that we work with. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and stuff like that. And it's very much an internship that literally the only thing you're expected to have coming in is an enthusiasm to learn. As what I've learned in cyber is that pretty much anyone could succeed, and I know that sounds like maybe something that is like out there, and not a lot of people are going to believe me when I say that, but I feel like literally all you need to succeed in cyber is just like, you just have to be curious. Like, you have to be curious about new events and stuff that are out there. You have to be curious about the news, like when the attack on the pipeline happened and stuff like that. Like most cyber people who are in cyber, they were interested in that. So like just literally just reading news stories and stuff like that. You have to be curious about your field. In order to succeed in cyber, you have to have a willingness to learn. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable with uncomfortability. Basically, you have to be comfortable with not knowing everything, because everything's always changing. Like literally, there's probably something new every single day, and to be able to say, "Hey, I don't know this," and that's okay. There's gonna be people out there who are more than willing to teach you, and they're just like, "Hey, I didn't know this either," and that's something that I'm learning in my internship every single day. Like I'll be like, "I should know this. I should know this. I should know this," and then I'll be like, "I don't," and I'll ask someone, and they'll be like, "I was in the exact same spot as you," and I hear nothing but words of comfort and encouragement and stuff like that. So you just have to be able to put yourself out there, and you can't ever say, "I can't do this. This isn't for me." Because as soon as you say like it's not for me, then that's when you're no longer going to be able to succeed in cyber. A lot of cyber is just trying to be one step ahead of the bad guy. So to make sure that as soon as a vulnerability in your system is you're made aware of a vulnerability in your system, it's like kind of a race to see who could exploit it, if, fast to see who could exploit it, or if you could fix it. So like basically like it's a race, the bad guy trying to get to that vulnerability and you trying to get to that vulnerability to fix it. So that's kind of the fun part. Yeah, I would just say that it's just kind of difficult because you'll have like these state sponsored hackers and stuff like that who are breaking into your system, and they are literally sponsored by their governments and stuff like that. So they're pretty big teams that you're fighting up against versus like a big team versus like a small company. What are my career plans? I would say that that's relatively like a pretty difficult question actually, just because there's literally so much that you could do in cyber. I feel like I am always quoting this woman, and I feel like I'll always quote her till I retire, probably even past that. She said that only boring people ever get bored in cyber, and I feel like that's definitely so true because there's so many different things that you could do in cyber. There's so many different niches and stuff like that. So many different teams. I would say that for maybe the next maybe 1 to 3 years or something like that. I want to be like a cybersecurity analyst, which is where you're working with tools and stuff. You're maybe working more on the front lines and stuff. You're working more with the actual people who are like, you're working more with phishing campaigns and stuff like that. I would say that for right now, I want to be like a cybersecurity analyst.